Hey, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Morning Comics. I still don't have kids, and I still don't have a mustache. No, I have a mustache. I have a mustache, but no kids. It's really just maybe it's the rules. If you have a mustache, you should really not have kids around. No, my girls are sleeping. Charlie was at an amusement park pretty late last night with some friends, and Kate was watching Dune up pretty late because that movie is like 7 hours long. And neither of them have emerged from their pre or current teen cocoons as of yet. Maybe my voice will echo through the house a little bit and start waking some of them up, but we shall see if we are joined by anybody today, kid-wise. As of yet, it has been silenced. There are bagels ready for them. We will see if that's enough to lure them into joining us. But hey, thank you for joining us. And so sorry, disappointing. You get John and his mustache. That's what we got. That's what I got. Let's see who we got in the chat. There we had Perry tailgating. He says, "I'm an island boy." Okay. He's been dropping a ton of videos on Chucky, the Child's Play horror series, which apparently is like a TV show now. I've seen the original films, and I never really liked that series, so I haven't watched as many of Perry's reaction videos, but the dude's been dropping a ton. Yeah, Ariel, of course, here tailgating as well. Good morning, Ariel, which means Simon is around somewhere, I'm sure. Legion of Comics is here. What's up, Mark? How you doing? Thanks for having me jump in for a few minutes on your show Friday morning. I said hello to Michael, but he's dropping the green hearts and the spider logos for our man Sam's Tangled Web, which is why I've got all the spider-themed books behind me all around for the good friend that passed recently. We got Delphia and Kachung in the chat. Good morning to the both of you. I apologize again. The kids haven't woken up yet, so very, very sorry, Dave. Still, yeah, John and family in quotes, but they're around, I swear. What's up, JG? How you doing? My Van Halen fan friend, what's going on? Yeah, Big Will has arrived. How's it going, Will? I hope you're having a start to a good weekend. Got Dave Collects. What's going on? Yeah, wake these girls up, man. 8:30. That's a late sleep for me. I mean, I wake up at 5:30, so I've like had a whole day of work by the time they wake up. So whatever. Good morning. What is going on? Let's see. What t-shirt are you wearing now? I got my Iron Man. I'm rocking the Iron Man shirt this morning. We got Verno from the Cerebros. What is going on? I know you're up early too. Hope things are going well for you. My dad is up. Good morning, Dad. And I'm very sorry that your favorite YouTubers are not around right now. Very sorry about that. Perry saying it's a fantastic TV series, the Chucky show that he's been doing breakdowns of a ton lately. Thomas is here. What's going on, Thomas? How you doing? CFAP, Comics for All People. How you doing, my friend? Super Russ 9000 is here. Good morning. Good to see you all. Let's see here. We got says Riley's watching. Oh no, she's still sleeping. Yeah, see, you get it. You know what's up, Michael. You know what's up. Aggressively relaxing. Good morning to you. And let's see here. So yeah, I agree. It is Sam's Tangled Spider-Man Saturday, and a good friend of mine and a bunch of yours, I'm sure as well, passed away either late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. Hard to really know. And you'll see a lot of tributes to him on Instagram, on YouTube. I dropped the link down below for the video that Bueller posted last night when he got home from Sam's apartment. So Bueller and Sam were the closest friends that I know of in this community as far as people that knew Sam really well. And so he gave a little information on what's going on. There's no plans for any kind of a service or anything like that. It's the family's doing their own thing, and we got to kind of respect their wishes because, we don't have any say in any of that. But Bueller gave a little 18-minute video summary of kind of some things, and it was a very, very emotional, beautiful kind of tribute to his friend. And so I linked it down below so you can check it out if you want to. But for me, I think the best thing that we could do for Sam, and the thing that I think he would appreciate the most, is just to talk a lot about Spider-Man, talk a lot about the things that he loved, which was, anything connected to that element of Marvel Universe. I think it was just really the things that he would be happy to see continue, So definitely what I am going to try to do today for sure. So what's up, Dales of Suspense? How's it going, Dale? Let's see. I agree, Russ. It's very hard to even fathom. I can't even wrap my head around it. So if you don't know Sam, he was my very first moderator for my channels. And those are the people with the blue wrenches that can lay down the law in the chat. So he was my very first moderator. And I was a moderator on his channel. And when I first started YouTube, he was the moderator. Like he was a moderator on pretty much every channel I would find. He was just known as somebody who would always be there in your chat, and he would always make sure that things were running smoothly, and he would always keep out the riffraff if there was anybody creating a problem. He would drop that blue wrench on him pretty hard. He was always that guy. And then even over on Facebook, which I don't go on Facebook a ton, but he was always over there with Marvel groups and comic book groups and posting and reposting things. So when I did when my friend Whitewell Comics and I did a look at the original Spider-Man comic book, Amazing Fantasy 15, Sam reposted it into his Facebook group. And then a bunch of those guys came and watched our show. So he was always that supportive person that wanted everybody to succeed and wanted everybody to appreciate what this community could be and what we could do for each other. So he was a one of a kind, absolutely one of a kind. Let's see here. We got Katie Kaboom saying, glad to hang with this morning, usually at work. Maternity leave. Congratulations. Daughter is 2.5. Wow. Wow. Time that flies, right? Swaggle House is here. What's going on? Some people saying, didn't know Sam until he was a major. He just really connected a lot of people. Absolutely. And I will tell the Green Heart story because I think it's pretty funny how the Green Hearts thing got started. And it was really a joke between Sam and I that just kind of got out of hand, but is pretty great too. What's up, Darth Timo? How you doing? I'm going to take an awkward sip of, as a Discovery Bay says, awkward sip of coffee. I do have some new comics to talk about. So the Green Hearts. Sam was famous for saying and what. He was like he would often like pause and then drop little words in. And he started a show one time, and every time he would read a comment, every time he'd click on it, he'd say like, what? Like he would ask a question whenever. So I thought it was hilarious. And so every time he did it, I dropped a green heart in the chat. And then he thought that was funny. So he started finding ways to say what more. He would repeat the word what, like he would do it 2 or 3 times. And it became a thing where if I was in his chat and he said what, I would throw a green heart. And then other people started throwing them too, so that you'd get in there and like 10 green hearts would go blasting up in the chat. It was a really kind of fun and sweet thing that he thought it was funny, and he got a laugh out of it. And it just became this thing. So if you know, like I'm posting a lot of green hearts lately just for Sam. And of course the little spider web emoji for our friend. It doesn't seem real, Perry. It really doesn't. And I think it was Jeffrey who said to me, like, we've been doing too many of these lately. And I agree. It feels like a lot of these lately. And there I'm doing it. What? So I don't want to, drag everybody's weekend down, but instead I thought it'd be a fun way to kind of remember Sam. And I busted out as many of my Spider-Man comic books as I possibly could put behind me here. Some of my all-time favorites. Uh, and I've been starting a little thing. So when I found out on Friday, I noticed that there were 50 days left in 2021. I instantly started like thinking, I really want to get through 2021 and be done with it. And I noticed that Sam would have turned 50 at the beginning of January. So I thought it would be fun to kind of post 50 Spider-Man books for him for the rest of the year. And so there's been a little hashtag on Instagram for Sam's 50 Tangled Webs. And we're posting a ton of Spider-Man books like every day. So I've posted my first two, and I'm going to try to post all the way, I think, until Sam's birthday on January 5th would have been his 50th birthday. He would not like 50 DC books. I don't think he had a huge collection of comics. I don't think he owned 50 DC books, Perry. It's not going to happen. That would not have worked out well. Other great friends in the chat. We got Darren in the chat. I feel you completely, Darren. Air Spider, what's going on? Sleepy Reader, how you doing this morning? And I'm right there with Vision in that moment. And then Don Dizzle, how you doing this morning, Don? Good to see you. And then Chet says, why is this a solo act? Where's the pretty section of the show? The ones that everybody wants to see are sleeping. So hopefully that, we can stir them out of their cocoons a little bit. They were zonked a little bit ago when I wandered down the hall. So my general rule is I'm not waking them for any of this stuff. They've got to wake up on their own. I'm fairly sure Kate can hear me pretty clearly because her bedroom's a little bit closer, but we'll see what happens. Sorry, there was something else there that I was going to say. Craig69 is not here. I wish he was. It would be really awesome if he was. Riley finally woke up and she watched Collateral for the first time. So that's a great place to diverge for a second. I watched Collateral with both my daughters because I'm on the Downright Annoyed with Movies show on Sunday. And they're talking about the Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx movie Collateral. And I watched it with my girls. It was not anything they couldn't handle. And it was a really fun rewatch. So I'm looking forward to talking about that one for sure. That would be a lot of fun, Michael, for sure. All right, a few other movie things we can jump through here. What is going on? Chaos and Comics is here. Chris, good to see you. And my dad wants to see granddaughters, so it's a good thing I have little videos of them I can play for you. How about this one? No, well, now they know. Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold that game on. The cold never bothered me anyway. Got knocked to the dome there. And then my dad always wants this one too. Hello to the Bronze Page. Good morning to you, and thank you for your kind thoughts for Sam. Werewolf by Lunchtime, good to see you. So I will say Disney did a bunch of announcements yesterday, and I've watched all the little trailer clip. I would argue that most of them are not trailers, but a bunch of little clips that they posted. Some very exciting things to look forward to next year on their platform. I can't pick which one I like the most because most of them were just these little snippets, but I will say the She-Hulk I'm very excited to see more of that. I really am excited for more of the She-Hulk for sure. Uh, Taki is here. What is going on? Good to see you, sir. Yeah, yesterday was Disney Day. Lots of things came out. Shang-Chi is now streaming, and I know my girls and I will watch that this weekend because we still haven't seen it. So at some point, we're going to finally get around to watching Shang-Chi, which I hear some really good things. I really want to see these fight sequences. Everybody says that the kung fu is pretty amazing. I watched Dune yesterday. I got around to watching the 3-hour Dune, and I didn't like it. I'm sorry to Jennifer, especially. I like the filmmaker a ton, and I think Arrival is still just an absolute masterpiece. I think Sicario is one of his, if I'm not mistaken. Denis Villeneuve. He's French Canadian, I think. And I loved his Blade Runner movie. I thought it was really great. I just felt like Dune lacked an emotional core and an ability to take a vast, diverse universe and distill it into an element where we could really connect and understand what was happening. A lot of times they were just sort of throwing stuff at you without really giving anything a real context. And I just felt really disconnected from a lot of it. And when you make a movie that's that long and it's disconnected, I just ended up feeling lost in a lot of ways. So that was kind of disappointing. Let's see here. There was some good news about, X-Men animated series fans will be excited to know that it's coming back and that they're making new stuff. Jamie, what's going on this morning, man? I didn't spend too much time on your chat this morning. I hope the show went well. Let's see here. There was no Obi-Wan trailer. It was more of an Obi-Wan, let me tell you, we're making the show thing. Kind of like the Willow thing they made, which was funny, but still kind of random. Really liked all 3 Marvel films that came out, mostly because they're pretty different. There you go. Still need to see Black Widow. Oh, good. Then I'm ahead of you on 2 of those, and I just need to watch Shang-Chi, and then I destroyed Dave. Chris says Dune was very good. I just think it was very prologue-y. I think that it suffered from some real flaws as far as storytelling. I don't think they connected us to these characters. I don't think you felt like you cared for these characters. Everybody felt very emotionally distant. And then I didn't care what happened to them. So that when people died, I was like, oh, that's too bad. Like I wasn't like invested in these characters. And that was kind of a disappointment. I felt like there were definitely missed opportunities for that. Instead, what they gave us were lots of like looking out at vistas. It felt like cologne commercials or something where everybody's just looking off in the distance like they were models. But I wasn't connecting with them on whatever they were looking like. You think about Luke Skywalker, when he looked out at the desert, you connected with Luke. Like you made a real connection to what he was going through. But if the whole movie was just Luke looking out at the desert, I think after a while you'd be like, I'm done with this. Like, where's the emotion? Where's the emotion side of it? So that was me. That's how I came out in the end on that one. I didn't hate it. I'll probably watch it again just to make sure I'm not wasn't in a bad mood or something, because that was totally possible yesterday. Let's see. I heard Venom was the book of the week. Hashtag no way. People didn't like how X-Men animated show ended, but luckily we live in a world with no bad movies and TVs, just ones that haven't been fixed yet. I mean, there you go. A lot of the diehard fans loved it, but diehards will read all the books and then say that it's part 1 of 3. But that doesn't really, honestly, the cliffhanger ending didn't bug me. Knowing that it's like 7 novels by the original author and then like another 10 by his son, like in no way did I think I would get an ending out of this. I just wanted to connect to the universe and get into these characters a little bit. And I just don't think they pulled that off. That was the weakest part of the whole thing. Visually, the look of everything, very interesting. cinematography, special effects, music, actors, everybody was really nailing all their stuff, but the story wasn't working for me. That was just me. So you guys want to, it's the only Spider-Man-ish book that I got this week anyway, so we can talk about Venom if you want. I got this weird road rage cover. I don't know what's going on. There's like a monster truck and then a Venom drive. It had nothing to do with the comic at all. Just a random cover. I did not like Venom. I'm just in the worst place right now. I just did not like anything, but actually I liked almost everything else I read this week. Thanks, Katie. Venom, it felt like story by committee. Like it didn't feel like an Al Ewing book and it didn't feel like a Rom V book. It felt like both of them were phoning it in and that an editor was changing it all for them as they went. It was just a sloppy book for me. Didn't care for it at all. And easily the lowest of the 5 books that I got this week. So, sorry. It's a Hot Wheels cover. It's a Venom Hot Wheels car. I mean, I guess it could be. I don't know how I would know that. Are they doing is that like a thing? Is that like a Marvel thing? They're doing Hot Wheels covers. I'm going to get like a Fantastic Four Hot Wheels cover or something. It's totally within the realm of Marvel possibilities at this point. The Hidden Gem cover, the Headshot cover. I don't know what this is. Let's see. This is variant number 7. Yikes. The 7th cover. I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah, so I passed on Venom. I'm not going to get a second issue or a third. If people start telling me it's the greatest book at Marvel, I'll read it digitally later on. It's just not. I'm good with where Kate's ended, and I'll go on to something different and start reading a different book, and that's cool with me. One less book to have to buy each month. That's a win in my book. I use the word book too much there. As far as the books behind me go, I try to pull out some of my favorite Spider-Man comics and some of my favorite Spider-Man covers. So most of my favorite artists are represented. In fact, I would say my favorite 3 Spider-Man artists are all represented here. I would love it in the chat if you wanted to let me know who your favorite Spider-Man artists are. If you had a top 3, I know that my hot take is that Todd McFarlane would not make my list. So sorry about that. I'd rather watch Alien 4 again than read another issue of Venom. Boom! I am right there with Perry. I fully agree. I would rather watch Alien Resurrection than read issue 2 of Venom. I'm in that boat. I'm with you. I feel that. So my 3 favorite Spider-Man artists. Coming in third place would be Mike Zeck, who did these 2 comics right here. The Kraven's Last Hunt. Absolutely love his work on Kraven's Last Hunt. So I would put Zeck on the list. Even though he didn't do a ton of Spider-Man, he did some very pivotal Spider-Man. Ton of it with the black suit. So I'll put Zeck on there. Coming in second would be Eric Larson. Here he is doing a great Venom cover. I don't know if I've got him here a second time. I think he's way over there on the other wall. But I've got him. But he's my number 2 would be Eric Larson. And then, yeah, my number 1 is a lot of people are mentioning. Sorry, where is it? Romita Sr. would be my number 1. I'm a big John Romita Sr. I think his style of Spider-Man was kind of what I grew up with on playing cards or bed sheets or lunch boxes. It was always a Romita Sr. sort of style. So like Kachung and I have 2 out of the 3 in common there. And those are the guys that really created an image for what Spider-Man was for me at different times. So whether it was like 70s and then 80s and then 90s, like those 3 guys kind of took me on the journey. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. You guys are being very melodramatic about Venom 1. I mean, that's what Perry and I do. That's kind of our brand, Chaos. Ramita Jr. was in the 70s, not the Dan Slott era. Okay, there you go. Marcos Martin is an incredible artist, and I agree, Air Spider. I love Marcos Martin, and I need to get more of his artwork in my reading whenever it's possible. Rather watch behind the scenes of Captain Marvel than read issue 1 of Venom again. Wow. I mean, I might be in that group too, Perry. I might be in that group too. But again, I think the choices that you're picking aren't that. I mean, I liked Captain Marvel, so I would be interested to watch Captain Marvel behind the scenes stuff. So in that way, that's a win for me, I think. Let's see. Beckerman says, I added Ramita Senior Spider-Man head sketch to my collection this year. What? No way. Beckerman, that is a phenomenal addition. So congratulations to you, sir. Very, very amazing. Spider-Man artist for Bronze Age says Ramita Senior, McFarlane, and Ditko. Ooh, runners up being Bagley and Larson. So that makes total sense to me. And Bagley would probably be 4th on my list. I do like Mark Bagley's Spider-Man a lot, especially the Ultimate Spider-Man era. It's kind of like my jam. And I know that this guy loves Ultimate Spider-Man. This is Brandon from Comics Kings. What's going on? Cookie's back. What's going on? But Brandon's been reading the Ultimate Spider-Man run. I know he's been posting stuff from time to time reading that. I'm a big fan of that run. Just really good stuff. So then I'm going to save Spider-Man villains for a little bit and do some great books that I read this week. So the other 4 books that I read this week, I liked all of them a bunch. So I got 2 indies, a DC, and a Marvel. I'm going to go with the book nobody's talking about but me, so I'm just going to go with it. This was a great issue of Hellions. Issue 1817. This run is finishing up. This is an X-Men comic book. If you didn't know, it's in the X-Men universe. Some of the underappreciated, undervalued X characters working together. And in this issue, one of them feels justified in going crazy and losing their cool and attacking a evil base, villain's base, and wiping it all. It was wow. Like, I mean, this was quite an issue. It was action-packed front to back, hugely dramatic, huge consequences for characters. This is going to have an impact for sure. So I was absolutely in love with it. Great issue of Hellions. And the artwork, is it Stefan? I think it's Steven Segovia, really nailing. He's been great on this run all along, but like this issue felt like a step up. Like he really went on another level. Let's see here. Missing some people. Hellions was great. Hellions is a fun read. Liked Hellions. It was an okay issue. Oh, that's the hottest take I've seen so far. We got Gore Vidal saying, it's an interesting take, John. I don't know when I'll get to see it. Was Venom that bad? I don't think it was like the worst thing ever. It was just really disappointing in the way that they had clearly a lot of talent involved and couldn't make anything out of it. And I think the story is a real mess. Like it is a messy issue 1 with a ton of just like random little bits that I don't think add up to anything. So just a hard pass. Bagley and Zek will be runners up. Zek on those Craven's. I mean, Craven's Last Hunt, right? I mean, these issues from Craven's Last Hunt always really fire. All right, Pop. Very sorry. Hope to have daughters next time, right? I know Perry liked that Hellions art. I dropped a few panels of it in our group chat, so you can check it out. The Rican is here. What is going on? Rod, my man, how's it going? I'm getting some messages. Oop, my notification bells are going off. Let's see here. Cerebro says, that's funny because I thought the art in Hellions fell off a bit. Everyone disagrees, right? Everybody's got their hot takes. Like, I didn't like the art in Venom at all. Like, I did not think the art was working. So apparently, yeah, I didn't realize how many people were reading Hellions. So there you go. I agree, and we've been talking a lot about Spider-Man to try to celebrate our awesome friend Sam. And we were listing our 3 favorite Spider-Man artists. And I think we came up with all the best ones. I certainly think we mentioned all the best ones. So now, time to talk about your favorite Spider-Man villains. Now, I will say, and this might come up as a hot take for me, Batman has better villains than Spider-Man. I know that everybody feels like, well, Batman and Spider-Man have the best rogues galleries in comic books, and that they're on the same level. I don't think they're anywhere close to the same level. I think Batman is like infinitely superior because he has the greatest villains, period. Spider-Man might have some of the best villains at Marvel, but I think the X-Men have better villains than Spider-Man personally. I think that the problem I have with Spider-Man villains is they tend to be ridiculous. I mean, if you look at Vulture, really look at Vulture, the original style Vulture from the comics, really an odd villain. Even the like best Spidey villains, if you really start scratching the surface a little too deeply, you're going to end up with some curious realities checking in with you. So, and we'll see what we can get. But yeah, our 3 favorite Spider-Man villains. This is a tricky one for sure. Let's see here. Air Spider saying that Venom team was a poor choice. 2 writers and an artist not up to the level we just received. I mean, you could argue that. I think they're both incredibly talented writers. I just was disappointed overall. Ooh, Brandon with some great choices. Ram V is better than Cates, in my opinion. I agree he's a better writer. I just don't think he did a good job on this issue because he was writing by committee with Ewing and editors touching all over it, and I didn't care for it. Last time I was on a stream with Sam, we were talking about Mort of the Month Spider-Man villains. I don't know what that means. Mort of the Month Spider-Man villains. Like there's a mistake in there, a spelling mistake. I can't decode it. How do you just pick 3? I agree. Yeah, beating up villain was kind of elderly abuse. I mean, really, not wrong. He's not wrong. Scorpion. Ooh. If you look at those villains, they are very ridiculous, right? I mean, right? You look at like Rhino. Rhino might be the most ridiculous villain for me in the Spider-Man universe. The guy just puts on a giant rhino costume and rams his head into stuff. Like, I just don't get it. Yeah. So like the Rhino is just as crazy as Vulture for me. But I mean, is Scorpion any better? Most of Spider-Man's villains are like, I picked an animal, I made a costume, and I'm going to go be that now. Vulture, Rhino, Scorpion. Like they just picked a costume, octopus, slap it on, and get out there. So it's definitely out there a little bit. Some Hobgoblin love. Okay, John doesn't know what Mort of the Month is. Get your wit. It's been like legitimately 20 years since I've read a Wizard magazine. I don't remember who Mort is. Mort of the Month. All right. Empire Comics, good morning. How are you doing this morning? Let's see here. Doc. A lot of love for Doc Ock. Morbius, Kingpin. And can't take the rhino costume off at some point. That smell, right? There's got to be a bit of a smell going there. Definitely smells, right? Just saying. So yeah, tricky to pick the best Spidey villains. I think it's easy to pick Kingpin because he's such a great bad guy. But he's become, for me, a Daredevil villain, but he started in Spider-Man. So I don't see how you could argue that he's not a Spider-Man villain also. In that way, I think Kingpin would make it for me. And he's one of those villains that I think has a reality to him that seems authentic. So I'm definitely a fan of that. I think I loved Venom as a villain when I was a kid. And if he was on the cover of a book, I was going to buy it. So as a kid, Venom would have made it. They turned him into a hero, and I liked Venom less. I still feel this way. Venom is less of a villain, or less of an interesting character for me as a hero. I liked him as a villain. So that was kind of me. And so Venom would make it as a villain. And I think I'd probably just go Green Goblin in the end because I love this storyline so much. I think Green Goblin would probably round it out for me in the end. We'll see. I'll have to think about it a little bit more. Perry says, I wonder, is Harry Potter on the cover of Wizard magazine? No, I don't think Harry Potter was not in existence as a character when Wizard magazine tanked. McFarlane and Spider-Man was the series that actually started your collecting. The first day I walked into LCS and Spider-Man 1 was on the shelf. Yep, I get it. And my Spider-Man 1 is right there. There's my Spider-Man 1. I changed my wall yesterday, so that's all Spider-Man books in that corner now. But I totally understand. That cover is iconic. Okay, here, let me learn about Mort of the Month. Mort of the Month was a monthly Wizard column where they featured a silly villain from the past, Hypno Hustler, for example. I mean, obviously, there's a ton of ridiculous villains, right? Especially those Golden Age, Silver Age villains. Kind of ridiculous. Air Spider says he's been in a ton of both Spider-Man and Daredevil. It's pretty even at this point. I mean, there you go. Venom was your instant favorite when I first read him in ASM. I mean, you talk about that sort of launch at ASM 300 all the way through, what was it, 375 when he finally like became a hero. He had Spider-Man's parents and he was like threatening like to kill them. I think he went through quite an emotional journey in those issues. Paste Pot Pete. Yeah, Craven and Electro and Doc Ock are definitely interesting villains. I find myself laughing now as an adult looking at Electro's costume because he looks like a sunflower sometimes. You know, like he's got a little flower on his head and his face comes out of the middle of the flower. I giggle at his costume, and definitely I liked when they decided to kind of upgrade his costume a little bit. ASM 346 to be exact. Well, there you go. That's a great cover. 346 is a great cover. And I will say for me, it was a ton of these Larson covers, like the one when he's holding Spider-Man's skull, like Hamlet. Definitely some great stuff in there. Gotta be honest, Spidey isn't really top 5 for me. Ooh, hot take. But he's probably not top 5 heroes for me either. When I was a kid, he was top 3. When I was a kid, it was Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Batman probably. As an adult, now it's more Daredevil, Storm, and Robin, or Nightwing, as he currently is. Those are probably my top 3 now. My interests have shifted. But that's interesting. Stiltman is a hilarious one. Empire Comics, yes. As far as Daredevil villains go, Stiltman is somewhat ridiculous. I mean, I've read a lot of comics where they keep trying to make Stiltman relevant in some ways. It just doesn't work. It just does not work, right? Harry Potter would have been on the cover. Sure, there you go. Spider-Man is the training wheels of comics. I like this comment. It's a great entry point because you don't need a ton of information, right? You don't need a ton of backstory. His story is so universal now that I think a lot of kids can get right in. In fact, my girls can pick up any Spider-Man book and just read and be right into it. Specifically, of course, they love Ultimate Spider-Man by Bendis and Bagley, and were able to just devour that series and absolutely loved it. So that's a great comment. I totally agree. Goverdall says he enjoyed Peter Parker and the Amazing Spider-Man in the early 80s. I mean, it was a really good time from there right into for me, I liked it all the way through Larson. Like Eric Larson was always my favorite as a young person. I just loved his sort of skinnier, gangly looking Spider-Man, as opposed to the like ripped McFarlane one. He was a little skinnier, right? Let's see here. Not Nick Spencer's run. Yeah, I did not care for Nick Spencer's run, but they did have some good covers in there. What is up, Ryan? Good morning. Thank you for launching our song in. Sadly, there are no girls as of yet. I'm still buying the like large size hardcovers. I am 3 away from having all. I think it's 12 volumes in hardcover. So I've gone. I think I've actually showed Brandon, so it's not really anything Brandon doesn't know. But I've gone on eBay and basically bought them. Some of them are not in the best condition, or some of them might be missing the what's it called, the slip sleeve, the dust jacket. But I've been slowly collecting the Bendis Bagley large size hardcovers that are way out of print, and I'm down to needing 3. I know I need 11 and 12, the last 2, because those probably have the lowest print run. And then I need 1 in the middle, like 8. I think I need 8. I don't think I need 9. I think I need 8. Those are the 3 that I'm missing right now. My training wheels were amalgam and with Dark Claw and Superman. There you go. There you go. Stiltman just got his Marvel Legend Build-A-Figure. You can keep adding leg pieces and make him taller. That's hilarious. So good. So good. Oh, you guys are amazing. I appreciate everybody coming in and spending a little time talking about Spidey, talking about our friend Sam, and just kind of enjoying the things that he enjoyed and the things he brought out in all of us. That's awesome. Daughter found out there was no Kate and Charlie, decided that John's mustache was not enough to get off the couch. Well, there you go. Sorry. The mustache is fading. The beard is coming in. At some point, I'm just going to trim and we'll be uniform all the way across the front here. Let's talk about other great reads this week. Sorry, Sam, but I'll talk quickly about a DC book. I really enjoyed Robin and Batman. I thought this was a solid issue number 1. Not the greatest thing in the world, but I love Dustin Nguyen's artwork and Lemire doing Batman. Yes, I was way happier with this than Venom. I would say the Venom I would probably give a 6.5 out of 10. Lemire Batman is probably an 8.5 out of 10. So yeah, very, very good. Enjoyed that a bunch. What is your favorite Spider-Man story arc? That's a real good one. I'd love to hear comments in the chat. I mean, the easy answer is the death of Gwen Stacy. I mean, it's just 2 issues, but you could stretch it. I've seen trades that collected a few other issues to kind of give context to what was going on with the Osborn family, what was going on with Gwen. And that was certainly the story arc that when I read it, hooked me into the Spider-Man universe. So that would probably be the easy answer for me, is Death of Gwen Stacy. I think it's just it. When I bought these 2 slabs, I only owned 1 slab. And I was like, I'm not really into slabs. And then somebody had a deal for these 2 7.5s. And I was like, that's the one. Like that's the, it was sort of the entry point for me because I loved Bronze Age. Bronze Age comics are amazing for me. Silver Age are still kind of hard to read. I tend to laugh a little bit at Silver Age comics more. Bronze Age comics hook me in a big way. Heroes failing and things like that. So yeah, it would probably be that. What is going on? Art Chemist, good morning to you, sir. That would probably be the one. And I know that's Dave's birthday book, right? 121. But close second is Craven's Last Hunt. I think it would be right there with it. I think those 2, they're hard to beat, man. They're really hard to beat. It's really top-notch, really just top-notch stories. I think what was fun about Spider-Man when I was a kid, though, was often you would get only 1 or 2 issue stories, and then a new story would start. It wasn't like today where you get like 6 or 12 issue stories. They were shorter runs or even single issue stories. I loved the original Venom Island storyline with Spidey versus Venom on that island, and Spidey has to fake his death. That's a great one. Absolutely amazing. That kind of stuff for sure. Learning to Crawl 5-part miniseries is a really great one. Let's see. Air Spider said maybe the beginning of the JMS run. I'm trying to figure out who JMS is. One more day. One more day. I don't know that I'm trying to figure out who that might be. JMS. I'm sorry. I'm not breaking down that acronym. Struggling with that. Ariel Red. Thank you so much. Tired of holding out for the girls. I'm sorry. Working. Here's a donation for the extra bagel fund. I may have to buy extra bagels. These are going to be cold by the time the girls get out here. But I will definitely give you your dolphin voice for you. Ready? And let's see what else we got here. How about me party? Hey, she almost made it in time. Look, she just grew. She's a big girl now. Hello, little lady.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, I'm tired.
47 minutes in, I got one of them. Pop's going to be sad he missed it. What are you going to do?
Sorry.
Let's see. Let's do one more for Kate. J. Michael Straczynski, thank you, Empire. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you spelling it out for me, or trying to, because I can't spell that any better than I can spell Bill Sienkiewicz. So there you go. Was she having a me party? I mean, were you having a me party? There you go. And now we all get to watch somebody eat on YouTube, which is riveting. Lady Fantastic, my sweet Caroline. How are you doing? Good to see you. I caught a little bit of your show last night. I hope you're doing well. Whew. So we were talking about Kate's priorities: sleep, make bagel, join show. I mean, that's a good order. That's a good order.
Except I didn't make the bagel.
Nope. Eat bagel.
Eat bagel.
Eat bagel would be
after
better.
Show.
Right. We're talking about our favorite Spider-Man villains, favorite Spider-Man stories, things like that. Mm-hmm. Did you have any Spider-Man villains that were your favorite? Not necessarily in movies, but in the comics, that where you're like, "Ooh, that was cool when he fought this person or had to deal with this problem or whatever."
I don't know. I mean, they're all really cool, but if I had to choose one, probably just Green Goblin, because he's a classic and he's so cool.
Green Goblin, there you go.
Yeah, and they can twist it a lot of different ways. Like in what are the thick books?
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, they have a lot of that kind of stuff with Norman Osborn, and it's really cool.
And I know you've read The Death of Gwen Stacy with the original Green Goblin stuff, right?
It was really cool. That's probably the first time I ever read a comic with him.
Big Will saying hi to you.
Hi.
Lady Fantastic saying Dr. Octopus, which as far as movie villains go, I think Doc Ock would probably come in first place in the movies for me. They did a really good job of making him interesting and real. Favorite Batman supporting characters, like that maybe characters who aren't villains. I never liked Black Cat. Sorry, Lasso. She always seemed like a really bad Catwoman ripoff, but not as interesting.
Is she the one who has like a long ponytail and she is like in white?
It's like white hair, yeah. Not my thing. Whenever Spidey's like romantically entangled with her, I'm always like, that's just weird.
Favorite supporting Spidey character is definitely going to be the Torch.
The Human Torch. Mm-hmm. Good pick.
Whenever he's with, they're so funny together in the
Johnny and Pete.
Or Iceman. Bobby. He's so funny with him.
Iceman too. Yeah, that's a good trio right there. See, this is why you need kids on this show.
Mhm.
Yeah, Miles Morales is a fun like side
Mm.
Spidey
Miles is
adjacent
awesome.
character. He's right there, right behind Kate, with Gwen's over there and Mayday's over there. Deadpool and Spidey are a good combination. Dr. Chase Meridian, what? That's from Batman. Dave's being funny. A new book alert, A Thing Called Truth. Ant, Gunslinger, and Cross to Bear from Aftershock. I didn't read any of those, Bronze Age. Wow. I didn't read a single one of those books. The only independents I read this week were books that were stories I was continuing. So I read May's book, which was another great issue in this series.
It's so hard to eat a bagel on a show. I'm sorry. It's
And
so hard.
a Righteous Thirst for Vengeance from Rick Remender and Image Comics. This is the issue 2, and I enjoyed both of those a ton. And if you go back to when Monday night, White Whale Comics and I broke down all the books from October that we've really enjoyed, and both of those comics came up. We talked about May's book. We talked about Thirst for Vengeance. Really good stuff. And you can kind of hear in detail what's going on with those books. They're at the early stages. Issues 2. Oh, they both made it. What is happening, sweetie? Want to grab a seat? Here, I'll put the blanket on you if you want to sit. Boom. There we go. The trifecta is complete. Good. Good morning.
Mommy or Daddy,
Yeah.
I kind of want to put lemon pepper and like tomatoes on it. Do we have any tomatoes?
You can go and take a look. She's going to go fancy with her bagels. Picked up A Thing Called Truth and not the other two. Definitely adding Spider-Man Deadpool series to my reading list on Unlimited. There you go. It's pretty funny. It is pretty funny.
There's no tomatoes. Can I cut one?
Well, that means there are tomatoes.
Well, I mean,
You wanted me to have tomatoes cut and ready and waiting for you?
can I cut them or not?
Yes, you can cut a tomato, bro. Aunt May has some random suitors, Willie Lumpkin and Doc Ock, to name a few. I mean, yeah. Yep. Sticky bagel fingers, Caroline. We got sticky bagel fingers floating around here. Rick Remender's Deadly Class continues being good. I've only got the first volume of that, Gore. I read the first trade and it was really good. I have not continued with it. Yes, we are going to watch Shang-Chi hopefully tonight if everybody's done with their things. We're going to do a little movie night because now that that's finally streaming on Disney Plus, we can watch this new Marvel movie.
I've heard it's so good.
What is that face?
I don't want to watch it.
Why not?
I don't even know who this Shang-Chi guy
But
is.
you didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and now how do you think?
Yeah, but like, I don't like ninjas. Ninjas aren't really like my thing.
You don't like kung fu fighting?
No.
You don't even want to give it a shot?
Well, you guys already kind of watched the things without me.
Well, so you're going to talk about something totally different than what we're saying? Did you wake up grouchy? Did we wake up grouchy today? I'm sorry. No locks and no tomatoes, says Ariel Red. Yep. Big flaw in our design. Do you like bagels with your cream cheese? Or do you like cream cheese with your bagel?
Both.
I got a lot of tomato guts everywhere, but I got one solid tomato slice.
And destroyed the rest of the tomato?
There's this and that.
You should use a serrated.
I did.
You used a serrated knife and you just crushed it?
I'm so bad at cutting things. It's really unbelievable.
All right, there you go. This is like a little behind the scenes, apparently, now episode. Ninjas aren't real. Say what? Next thing you're going to say is Santa's not real. I mean, hey. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
No, we watched Rush Hour the other day. That had a lot of them.
Lady Fantastic says it's stunning, Charlie. You might like it. Hey, you like the Jackie Chan movies we've been watching, right?
Yeah.
He does fun kung fu.
Rush Hour.
Oh, I feel like a sneeze coming on. Woo.
But he's not a ninja.
Neither is Shang-Chi. He's not technically a ninja.
And he dresses like one.
He's a fighter. He's a kung fu fighter.
More lemon pepper.
We need to order more lemon pepper.
We
We're-
have a little bit left.
Running low on lemon pepper. Boy, the hardships in your life.
Look how much I sprinkled them.
You did sprinkle a lot of lemon pepper on there. That's a
'Cause
fact.
it's not enough flavor when there's like 2 slices of lemon pepper. Slices of lemon pepper?
I'm sorry you woke up grouchy. You had an amazing day yesterday, though. You want to tell us anything about it?
It was really fun.
I don't want to say your comment out loud, Magic Lasso, or we will end up with a shopping list that we don't need. Yeah, being out of lemon peppers is a big deal. Simon and Ariel watched Shang-Chi last night and really liked it. There you go. You got to trust Ariel. That's what I'm saying. Thomas Collects, what's going on this morning? I think you were in here earlier, but good to see you again. Don't you want to see some Fin Fang Foom? Fin Fang Foom is a giant dragon that is in Marvel Comics from time to time, usually connected to Japan or China in some fashion. Nothing. You want to tell us about your time yesterday or no?
I went to Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, you went to an amusement park here in Southern California called Knott's Berry Farm, and it's the best place ever.
Yeah, but I didn't get to go on my favorite ride because
Well,
everybody else wanted to go on different ones.
we did wake up sad this morning.
But I got to go on some pretty big ones, like Silver Bullet, Ghost Rider.
Silver Bullet, Ghost Rider is that 2 rides, right?
Yeah, 2.
Silver
different
Bullet
rides.
and Ghost Rider.
In Silver Bullet, you don't have like a platform under your feet. You're hanging.
You're like locked in, your feet
Yeah,
dangle.
you're hanging and your feet dangle, and you do a loop to loop.
Ghost Rider is like a classic roller coaster, right?
Yeah, Ghost Rider's the like biggest one. It's all wood,
It's the wood roller coaster, yeah.
and it makes like little like.
You don't go
shapes.
upside down or anything,
No,
but
you
you
just
just go up, down, and then you bank, turn sideways, and yeah.
It's the longest one. But it's
Harry
also-
says now he's hungry. Time for Uber. You're gonna Uber to get food?
Oh, Barry changed his logo. I didn't know that was him.
He always goes to the pickle and then he goes back. And sometimes it's my mustache. Sometimes my mustache. He has my face in the Superman suit with the mustache
With the Lost in the background.
from 2 years ago. Sometimes it has Lost in the background. Sometimes it has like Gotham in the background. You got to fight the man to ride the good rides at Knott's Berry Farm. Yeah, I mean it's tough.
But I also did one called Montezuma's Revenge, where it zooms out and you do a loop-de-loop, like a big loop,
And then you go up,
and then you go up really high,
and then you go back,
and then you fall down, and then you go do the loop-de-loop backwards, and then you do go up backwards on the other side. So back. And
There
I
you go.
hated that one last time, but this
You
time
loved
I
it this
liked
time?
it.
So it's just Ariel says you like roller coasters. She likes the ones where it's when you go up and then it just drops you.
I did that one.
What's it called? Do you
It's
remember?
called Supreme Scream.
Supreme Scream.
It's the tallest thing. You know, like when you ride past Knott's Berry Farm,
You
there's
can
like
see
this
it.
big tower that says Knott's, and it's like white. I went up that.
Huh?
Wow, so
You
take those out of the chat. Sorry.
I went all the way up, and then I dropped. I went on the most extreme ones.
Oh man, very exciting. What was the best ride on?
Revolution. It's where it's like this big claw, and
Okay.
everybody sits in it, and it swings back and forth, and then it goes all the way up, and goes.
And then does it rotate at the same time?
Yeah, it also
So it
rotates.
turns
everybody
and it
else.
swings.
Yeah, so everybody has a chance to go up and everybody has a chance to go down.
Supreme Scream is a good name. I agree. Lady Fantastic says, I liked roller coasters when I was a kid. Now life is terrifying enough. Thank you very much. I'm not going to pay for it. That's funny.
I wanted to go. on
Supreme Scream is not a Diana Ross group. No, sorry. Roller coasters aren't my size, says Big Will. Let's see here. Still missing one issue. What do you? An issue of what? An issue of what? I didn't hear what it was. Disneyland is better than Universal, which is better
Yes.
than California Adventure, which is better than Knott's Berry Farm, which is better than Six Flags, although we haven't been to the last two in over 10 years.
I want to go to Six Flags at some point.
Disneyland's definitely the best.
Mm-mm.
I've never been to California Adventure.
Me neither.
That I remember, but Universal Studios is fun, but it's not really a rides kind of amusement
Yeah,
park.
it's-
It's more of
really
like
rides.
just like visuals. You can see like sets and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just like walking through Hogsmeade instead of going on. There's only 2 rides in the whole Harry Potter world, but the rest is like full Hogsmeade. You get to walk in all these cool little spots, and it's interactive and it's cool.
And a lot of the rides they use in Universal are the ones that are like virtual reality, where like basically they have a screen projecting a picture, and you're in a little car that's just kind of like doing this. They're not roller coasters, because roller coasters take up a ton of space. That's the thing that bothers me about Universal. I don't really like the rides as much, but you're there for the like atmosphere.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You know, the world building stuff. Will we get a Shang-Chi review next week? I mean, that's my hope. That is definitely my hope. Six Flags has exclusive Wonder Woman merchandise. This is true. Six Flags has connected with DC, and they used to have like Batman rides and the Superman rides. That one Superman ride that was like, I don't remember what he called it, but you like you're sitting in your car and they launch you and you go straight up, and at the very tippy top of this huge tower is Superman, and he's like standing out horizontally to the ground, and he's looking at you. You go, and then you see him, and then you slide away. You go right backwards where you were.
I did one like that.
So scary.
At some point, like after the show, I want to show you pictures of the ones I've been on and the ones that I went on.
The Harry Potter ride is really fun, though.
Let's see here. A lot of people talking about Universal versus Disney and their different feelings. Oh, it looks like Empire is near Whitewell Comics, because he is right near Disney and Universal as well in Orlando.
Can I talk about the Harry Potter rides?
If you wish.
So basically, there's 2 different rides that are basically right across from each other.
This is in California,
Universal
not the one
California.
in I don't know what they have in Orlando.
They have different stuff, I'm guessing. But so basically, there's the giant Hogwarts castle,
Right.
and you go in, and there's like a line. You go basically all through the whole entire castle,
Right.
and you get on the ride. It's so cool, but like it's like this big. How do you describe the seats?
So the ride is kind of like a flight through time and space in Harry Potter. And so you are like, it's one of those dangling feet rides where you're kind of going along, but it's not like a roller coaster. Instead, you like pause in front of screens and they give you a little bit of a moment, and then you move to the next screen.
Like the one I remember the most is you go in, Hermione's talking to you a little, I think. And then you go in more, there's fog and stuff. And then you go, and there's a screen, and it's like they're playing Quidditch. And so they like tilt your car up and down.
Yeah, because you're actually going and playing Quidditch. Yeah.
It's so cool. And then at the end, they're all in the Great Hall, and they're like, good job, or whatever. And then that's the end of the ride. And then there's a lot of stuff like that.
I agree. Waiting in line is part of the fun at Universal, especially on those Harry Potter rides, because you see so much. And I know people that legit go through the whole line and then jump out. They're like, I don't need the ride. Like I'm that way. Like, especially with those virtual reality ones, they tend to make me more nauseous than anything else. So yeah.
4.
There are 4 rides at the one in Orlando. I did not know that. There's only 2 at the one in LA. So the other one was the Hippogriff
ride. So it's like a normal roller coaster.
Yeah.
And you can
but a really short one, not a terribly long one.
It's really short, but the line's like not like awful. There are definitely there's Hagrid's huts over there you can look at. We took some pictures in front of it.
So it's basically the moment in the 3rd Harry Potter when Harry gets to ride on a hippogriff and fly around. And the idea is you climb into the roller coaster, and it's like shaped like a hippogriff with a hippogriff on the front, and then you zip around and then come back.
It's really cool.
I liked that one, but nobody else did.
Oh, I liked it. I just felt short.
Short.
Yeah, I just wish it was like 3 times as long. Harry needed directions to Diagon Alley. You need to use flu powder.
The one that I went on and that's very fun called Silver Bullet. It went like the loop-de-loop, and then it went all the way to the beginning of the park, like when you first come in.
Yeah, you kind of have to walk under it, right?
It goes like all around the park. It's so fun. It's so fast. And Supreme Scream is awesome.
I don't know if we have a Hufflepuff in our house.
Mm-mm.
Is Mom a Hufflepuff?
Me and Mom are both Gryffindors. You're
I'm the Ravenclaw.
The weird thing is, like, I took it in the first time I got Slytherin.
Yep.
The second time I
It's
got
not a bad
Gryffindor.
thing, though.
Yep.
And, like, I took it at school twice, and I got Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. I was like,
So you're somewhere in the middle. Remember, the Sorting Hat takes your opinion into the play.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I want none of them.
Well, I guess we should wrap this up, ladies. We got to get on with our day. All good with that? It's been a little roller coaster ride here with you all. I appreciate everybody who came by and waited for the girls, and I'm glad you got at least a little bit of time with them here at the end. Please check out Bueller's video. I posted a link down below for him giving a little bit of information on what happened to Sam and kind of what is going to happen going forward. And he's going to be apparently doing some kind of an auction for some of Sam's books, and you can get involved with that and support Sam's mom, who will get all the funds. Some things to think about for that. Post your Spider-Man books, hashtag Sam's 50 Tangled Webs, and hope to see everybody on their channels this weekend. I'll try to be in and out of the chats. I have 2 shows coming up this weekend. I'm on Downright Nerdy Podcast tomorrow night, or are we on? I think we might be on Bored and Annoyed's channel, aren't we? For a breakdown of Collateral, the Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx movie. I think we're on Bored and Annoyed's channel.
Collateral is so good.
Oh, nope. We're on Downright Nerdy. Sorry. Good thing I talked really slowly and kind of strung that out. But yeah, Downright Nerdy, we're talking about Collateral. And then Monday night is Comic Gories. We are back. Season 4 is running now. Regular season contestants. We're going to see if Nick Comic Culture can win his 9/8 white pages slab, or if people like Morbius are going to shut him down. Can somebody stop Nick before he wins that 9/8 slab? Very exciting.
What about your Dungeons and Dragons?
I mean, maybe. No, we finished our Dungeons and Dragons, so that's not happening this Sunday. I think we've got a couple of weeks before we have our next Dungeons and Dragons show. So yes, Comic Gories is coming on Monday night. There is no X-Men show this Tuesday, just because we're skipping a week, but we will be back soon enough. So be ready. That's it for us. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you all for hanging with us, and goodbye.